Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and coming up here on today's show, Overreaction Monday. I got the top 6 stories trending around the internet after the Raiders' 24-19 loss to the Chargers. Before I get into that, today's show presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. If you want to be able to post your job for free, go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily. For people that run small businesses, like Chat Sports, it's very important to make sure that you find the right people and you hire the right people, because replacing them, well, it can really set you behind. So please, you can find that link for y'all in the comments and in the description of today's show, linkedin.com/NFL Daily. So I got 6 overreactions after the Raiders lost to the Chargers, and I was heated last night. I've come down a little bit in terms of relaxing, and I think everyone can type relax in this video. However, I'm going to be hot takey. I'm going to be spicy, and I'm going to talk about Derek Carr, so get ready. Is Derek Carr the number one reason why the Raiders took the L? Before I give you my answer, I want to know from the nation, is Derek Carr the number one reason why the Raiders took the L against the Chargers? If you're like, yes, he absolutely is, then spam your Y for yes in the comments. If you're like, you know what, Mitch? No, I'm not going to put it on Derek Carr. It's an N for no. Let me know, because for me personally, Derek Carr, you should be typing your Y for yes. He is absolutely, positively, for just win baby heads, the number one reason why the Raiders lost this game. I tweeted it out and I said, if you hear anybody tell you otherwise, that Derek wasn't the number one reason why they lost this game, you shouldn't take their advice seriously. It's as simple as that. We'll go through all the reasons why. You can look at the numbers. You're going to see 22 of 37. That's really not that bad. 295 yards, okay? 2 touchdowns, but it's the 3 interceptions. And it's the 3 interceptions that really broke the backs of the Raiders. On top of that, it's that very first drive you're going down the field. And I don't care, Derek's great between the 20s, but what have we always said here? Derek needs to be better in the red zone. He misses Darren Waller on a touchdown, throws it behind him, Raiders settle for a field goal. On top of that, Davante Adams beats his 2 defenders going deep. Derek misses him, underthrown, interception. Derek underthrow, looking for Hunter Renfrow, Bryce Callahan, intercepts it. DC needs to be better, and if you're going to pay a quarterback the way that you did, I'm sorry, he needs to be able to step up. Number 2 reason here of why I think that the Raiders lost this game. Josh McDaniels was outcoached. I got into an argument yesterday on Twitter Spaces because they disagreed with me, but if you're going to invest the amount of money that you did in Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Davante Adams, you got 3 timeouts, 35 seconds before you enter the first half, and you get ball back, and you don't try to put some points on the board being down 17-3 when you have a kicker like Daniel Carlson who is as clutch as they come. That's bad coaching. You went away from the running game of Josh Jacobs. You didn't try to take any pressure off the offensive line by doing any running back screens. Where the hell were they? We saw all of those during the preseason. That did not happen. Josh McDaniels was outcoached. The O-line, it definitely needs to be upgraded. But when you really look at it from a PFF standpoint, the offensive line didn't play all that bad. The refs on the Hobbs hit to Herbert, him sliding down, what do you want him to do? Herbert's a runner at that point. Treat him like a runner. And the final reason why the Raiders lost this game, you simply did not get any pressure on Justin Herbert. Is Derek Carr the number one reason? Yes. Is he the only reason why the Raiders lost? No. Now, if you guys want to get started with our awesome sponsor, remember, you can post your jobs for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. A lot of people are out there saying Derek Carr isn't the right man for the job. I'll tell you that here in just a second. But the reason why I love LinkedIn, this might surprise y'all, I actually found Chat Sports on LinkedIn. And now I'm going to tell you why you guys are going to love LinkedIn too. You can create a job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions may apply. Now, personally for me, I love LinkedIn. I use it. I update my personal one, and I know when we look at a lot of people in terms of hiring here at Chat Sports, we do. We go to their LinkedIn. The way I always explain it to my dad is, Dad, imagine Facebook, but a professional Facebook. So it is important to not only have a LinkedIn, but for people that run a small business, use it. LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. Let's go to the next overreaction after the Raiders lost. I have heard this multiple times. Derek Carr is not the right quarterback for the Raiders. This is an overreaction. Why? Derek is absolutely the right man for this job. He's the leader in that locker room. I spoke to multiple Raiders players this offseason that said Derek's the best leader in the NFL. He has done so much for this organization. And yes, we will talk about how you could potentially get out of his contract, but Derek's the right guy. It was a really bad game. He's going to bounce back. Everyone take a big breath and relax a little bit. Was he over-targeting Davante Adams? Yes. Did he get happy feet here at time? Yes, he did. But who are you going to get? Because the amount of people I heard, oh, Mariota's better. No, he's not. What about Jimmy Garoppolo? Trade for him. He's not better. Derek is still in that upper echelon of quarterbacks that, again, I don't think he's top 10. But you don't always have to be a top 10 quarterback to be the right man for the job. This team looks up to him. The organization looks up to him. He wants to be a Raider. Derek can still get it done. So everyone, please take a chill pill and relax. Let's now talk about the next overreaction here. The O-line was bad against the Chargers. Yes and no. Was the O-line great? No. I'm going to give it 2 just win babies in terms of the O-line being bad. However, the amount of flack that the offensive line is getting on social media, I like to call them box score hunters. Box score warriors that all they see is, oh, Derek was sacked 6 times. But did you actually watch the game? Did you actually go back and watch the film? I'm not going to go as far as my guy Sanjeet, who put out a video that was like, I can sit there and say that every single sack was actually on Derek Carr. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the video, but hey, I saw the title, I saw the tweet, and he was really breaking down a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about here because per next-gen stats, Carr had on average 2.76 seconds to throw the ball. That's the 15th most in the NFL, which I could say is average. So yesterday, the Raiders' offensive line, in terms of protecting Derek Carr, played average. They didn't play great. They didn't play bad. They played average. So anybody sitting up here saying the O-line was the reason why Derek played the way he did, you're wrong. The numbers prove it. The tape proves it. The only way that you're going to sit there and get it through your head is if you actually realize, oh, okay, yeah, the offensive line wasn't the issue. So now when you look at the O-line, and there were some injuries that we need to cover, personally, Colt Miller might have been one of the worst ones out there. His PFF grade was a 59.0. John Simpson's PFF grade of 56.7. He was terrible. Andre James in this game, 68.8. Lester Cotton, 67.6. Jermaine Illuminor in this game, 70.6. Dylan Parham, the rookie, he was an 82.3. Now, I actually think there Munford played a lot better than what his PFF grades show at 45.2. But overall, the offensive line for the Raiders didn't play bad. And if anybody's telling you that, you shouldn't take their Raiders advice or analysis seriously. So it's time to go back to school here. I want you to grade the Raiders offensive line up against the Chargers. The fact that I gave it 2 just win babies, the fact that I don't think that they played bad, but I also don't think that they played well either, I am going to give the offensive line a C. C- grade. You also were going up against Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. Derwin James was phenomenal in this game. And the Chargers defense, y'all, is only going to get better once they get back J.C. Jackson. I'll also say, though, I'd be willing to bet that I don't know if Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa will be out there because they're always going to end up getting injured. So for me, man, yes, the Raiders' offensive line didn't play bad. They didn't play great. But I'm going to sit up here and tell you right now, the Raiders still need to upgrade that offensive line. I believe that one of the most important things that you can have for an offensive line is continuity, chemistry. But it's not only just for the offensive line, it's for your quarterback's sake. The amount of times that the Raiders were switching offensive linemen in and out, Dylan Parham got the start at right guard. Then Lester Cotton came in at right guard. Jermaine Illuminor got the start at right tackle. Then you bring in somebody like Darren Munford at right tackle. When you do all that, I do think that a lot of times it doesn't let a player get into a rhythm. Munford was doing a really good job, and then at the very end of that game, it's 24-19. You're on the 1-yard mark for a 2-point conversion. False start on Thayer Munford. He's got to come back. I'm a big believer. The more times you put players in big-time situations, they're going to be able to handle those big situations more. So stop shuffling around the offensive line because from what I saw, Carr didn't trust the O-line. That's the other reason why you need to upgrade it. He was holding on to the ball, though, way too long. His first read was Davante Adams. His second read was Davante Adams. His third read, Davante Adams. And then he was like, oh, shit, Renfrow, Waller, I'm going to panic, and I'm going to get rid of the football. Derek was not great. The offensive line can be better, but you do need to upgrade your line, especially if your quarterback doesn't have confidence in it, which is what I saw this past week. Now, remember, if the Raiders sign anyone, and I mean anyone, I already did a video for the Raiders signing the Roby-Coleman, but if the Las Vegas Raiders add a player, we're going to make a video. And if it's a big enough name, or if I feel like I got enough content to talk about, we could possibly go live, which is what you're watching right now. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Let's go to my next 3 overreactions after the Chargers game. Davante Adams is the best wide receiver in the NFL. I don't care what anyone says. Patrick Seatman behind the scenes, he loves Justin Jefferson. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that love Cooper Kupp. You can make an argument for all those guys. Give me Davante Adams. This man is an assassin. He's a Terminator. And you heard him when he talked about going up against cornerbacks this offseason, how he just breaks them down. He was slicing and dicing guys. The Chargers couldn't do anything to stop him. Yeah, he saw 17 targets. Carr was locked in on him. But realistically, these numbers should look a lot different even. If Derek can lead Davante to the back of the end zone, which I believe top 10 quarterbacks should make, Davante Adams ends this game with probably 11 catches. I'm going to say 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. You would look at that stat line and be like, that's insane. Now, this is still a crazy good line of 10 for 141 and a touchdown. But Davante Adams is that dude. He is the best damn receiver in the NFL. And if you hear anything otherwise, send him my way. Let's go to the next overreaction here. You should be full panic mode on the Raiders' injuries. And if you don't know all the Raiders' injuries, I will tell you about them here in a second. I'm not going to go full overreaction. I'm not going to also say 4 just win babies. I'm going to sit right here in the middle until I get some more information out on these injuries. Though, the players that were injured in that Chargers game, ready? That's what I'm doing because I am nervous about it. I am nervous about the situation. And from top to bottom, when you got a guy like Andre James, now Andre James is the only player who did not get injured in the game. And I know the picture is Roby-Coleman. I was trying to go live quick, so hopefully y'all can bear with me. But Andre James, center, he went to the locker room after the game with a concussion, and I don't know what necessarily is going to happen, but Tre'von Moehrig with a hip, that scares the hell out of me. Denzel Perriman with an ankle, that's scary. Brandon Bolden, he was holding in his knee. That knee injury looked really bad. DJ Turner, ankle, that's why he wasn't out there on special teams. I don't know what the injury is to Andrew Billings yet, that's undisclosed. And Anthony Averett, the thumb injury, I'm a believer that the biggest reason why the Raiders added the Roby-Coleman is because of the thumb injury to Anthony Averett. People are like, it's just a thumb injury. Have you not followed the NFL news? Dak Prescott's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks with a thumb injury. Thumbs, last time I checked, it's a big deal. And if you agree, like the video. Let's go to Nate Hobbs here. Is he the best player on the Raiders defense? Nate, I'm going to call him Nathan because he played like a grown man yesterday. Phenomenal player. However, I'm going to pump the brakes and still say this is an overreaction to say Nate Hobbs is the best player on our defense. Is he number 2 or 3? He might be. But the reason why, and this is not hating on Hobbs at all, he might have been the best defensive player in this game. I'm still going to nod to Maxx Crosby as being the best defensive player on this team. However, I've seen it out there a few times. When you look at the numbers here for Hobbs, 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup, 1 forced fumble. He was flying all over the football field. He was, man. He looks like he's going to be the next great cornerback in the National Football League, the next great cornerback to rep the silver and black. And when you see the fact that he could play outside, you could play inside, he can stop the run, the name that I'm going to throw out there is going to be a name that a lot of people are going to be like, wow, I can't believe you just said that. But you know what Nate Hobbs' athletic ability reminds me of? An absolute game changer where I really truly believe you could line him up at safety if you needed to. You can line him up at cornerback if you needed to. It reminds me of his athletic ability of somebody like Charles Woodson. I said it. Like, he is that good of a player where Charles Woodson comes to my mind. I'm not saying that they are the exact same player. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying, though, when Charles Woodson was on the field, it didn't matter if you played corner. If it didn't matter if you lined him up inside. It didn't matter if you put him back at safety. He was going to dominate. And that's kind of what I see with Nate Hobbs. He can come up and stop the run. He can drop back into coverage. He can lock somebody down. He looks like an all-around badass, and the Raiders found another gem late in the draft. He reminds me of Charles Woodson. That's how good of a player I think Nate Hobbs could potentially be. And yeah, I said it. So in terms of offensive winners, I wanted to still break down some winners. I wanted to break down some losers from today's game. On the offensive side of the football, I'm going to tip my cap to Davante Adams. I'm still going to give a nod to Josh Jacobs because he looked good. He had a very physical running style. I wish he would have been more involved in the game script. Josh is a winner. The other reason why I'm going to throw Darren Waller in this script is, again, it was hard to pick some winners out for the Raiders. I wanted to give you 3 names. To me, Waller should have had a touchdown. Waller should have had a touchdown on that very first drive, and Waller beat his 2 defenders going down the middle of the field. Unfortunately, if Derek would have led him to the right sideline more, it would have been, I think, a 30, 40, 50-yard pickup. Instead, it was an interception by Derek Carr. To me, though, these are your 3 big winners. Also, I could throw out there Dylan Parham for his 82-point whatever PFF grade. What about your defensive winners here? I loved what I saw to Nate Hobbs, Maxx Crosby, and yes, I'm going to throw out Johnathan Abram. The way that the Raiders use Johnathan Abram, it makes me laugh because it's like, thank frickin' God. Somebody's finally using Abram the way he should be. You don't drop Abram back into coverage. But the 2 or 3 times that I saw him drop back into coverage, thought he looked okay. But when he's up near the line of scrimmage making tackles, that's where Abram's at his best. And I'm also going to give some love to Bilal Nichols. Again, I'm a little bit not crazy about the PFF grade that they gave him because they gave him a 43.5. To me, though, Bilal looked really good on the interior, blowing up plays, creating good pressure there. These were my 4 big winners, though, on the Raiders' defense. Now let's talk about the losers. Josh McDaniels was a loser. He now goes to 11-18 all-time as being a head coach, and he just got out-coached. Simple as that. Derek Carr, your biggest loser. Hunter Renfrow's a loser, not because of how he played, but no targets in the first half. Yeah, he finished with 6, but the offense did not seem like Renfrow was involved at all. And to me, that's questionable. Roderic Teamer, he's a loser in this game. And it's not that I think he played really all that bad. He didn't even really get mossed. But if you have a receiver, tight end, catch the ball at the 7-yard line, and he manhandles you all the way into the end zone for a touchdown in a big moment, that to me is going to make you a loser. And then Chandler Jones. We paid Chandler Jones a lot of money. You moved on from Yannick Ngakoue. And the biggest concern for the Raiders with Ngakoue was of how bad he was against the run. Chandler Jones was non-existent in the passing game, which I get. Rashawn Slater's the top 5 left tackle. You know how much I love Colt Miller. I take Rashawn Slater every single day of the week and twice again on Saturday over Colt Miller at tackle. That's how good of a player I think Rashawn Slater is. But that being said, if you want to be up there and be one of these bad boys and consider yourself one of the best edge rushers in the league, you got to win one time, right? He didn't win really at all. He got manhandled yesterday. So for that, here are my biggest losers against the Chargers. Now here's your opportunity to go down in the comments section right now, and I want you to name a Raiders winner, and I want you to name a Raiders loser from this game, please. The only way that I'm going to know if you made it to the end of the video is if you start showing me that the Raiders, some of the names down there for winners and from losers from the Chargers game.